We got around 2.5 hours time before my best friend arrives. And then we'll see how it goes. I mean, we will probably talk a little bit. Why do I get a Snapchat now? But yeah, like as I was saying, my friend will arrive in 2.5 hours. That's how much time we have before other chaos ensues. I mentioned yesterday he's willing to read with me because he is the one who introduced me to the SCP Foundation anyway. So without him, I wouldn't be here. But yeah, I'd rather just get this reading done and enjoy my time with him off the stream, so we can just play a game or watch something before we go to sleep. I mean, I don't know how long we're gonna stay up today, to be honest. It might be until 2 a.m., might be until 3 a.m., 4 a.m., who knows. But yeah. Who has arrived? Who is he? I hope that Howard has woken up on time. I'm gonna not react to this Snapchat yet because I can see from the thumbnail that is spicy. That is something I will do in private. So, yeah. Let's get it on. Let's get it started. I hope Miss Galaxy Bond can join this time. She didn't yesterday. I mean, if she can, she can't. That would just mean that something happened on her side, and I'm not going to throw that against her. Okay, wait, hold on. Big stretch. Okay. Get that tiredness out of my body. Okay, Casket Garden. That's the first SCP we're reading today. And it's... Wait. Hold on. Oh, what the fuck did I just do? Okay, everything's fine. Nothing's broken. We're good. Okay, here we go. Yesterday, we had 2 keys in a row. Which was crazy that was the first SCP of 2024 with 2 keys in a row. But now we're starting with a Euclid and a pretty decently rated one. All instances of SCP-1760 are to be contained within Site 84. The surrounding 4 square kilometers are to be enclosed within a chain link fence topped with barbed wire. Citizens are to be dissuaded with a cover story of archaeological research. During manifestation, all instances of SCP-1760 are to be opened and the contents catalogued. SCP-1760 are then to be refitted with tracking beacons and resealed prior to the end of the manifestation. Due to the result of the 15/11/2006 opening of -16 and the subject's increasingly hazardous contents, this particular instance of SCP-1760 is to remain sealed at all times upon manifestation. See Incident 1. Description: -1 through 15 are a series of 15 black pine coffins that annually rise from the ground. Black pine coffins that annually rise from the ground at noon on November 15th in the wooded area outside Minsk, Belarus. Oh, not on Halloween. When is Day of the Dead? Yeah, it's okay, the October 31 or November 6th. Missed opportunity. Oh well. Each coffin bears a white Orthodox cross. No other identifying marks are visible. I make sure that the music is not too loud, right? Yeah. Upon rising from the ground, -1 through 15 are always sealed and contain a full set of human remains that vary with each manifestation. These remains are always Caucasian and dressed in regional funeral attire. Autopsies have shown that these remains are always newly embalmed upon manifestation. Oh. I wonder if they're like freshly taken from the morgue. At midnight on November 20th, each instance of SCP-1760 sinks into the ground regardless of whether or not it has been disturbed. Excavation attempts to locate SCP-1760 upon submersion have shown that the subject stops 3 meters below the surface during the remainder of the year. Instances that have been reopened after sinking have been found completely emptied of contents. Now, I do realize that you said disturbed. Who out here disturbing dead people in coffins, huh? Is it you? Did you do it? Be honest with me, did you do it? Did you? Don't. Removing an instance from the site prevents submersion, but I would never. Okay. Hey, no, this is just my place in Zurich. Oh wait, I forgot about my text, the chat. Hold on, I'll fix you guys. There. It's not in the room. I'm just in a different country. But hey, Howard, welcome. Good to know that you guys are not disturbing the dead. Oh. Okay, let's go on. Removing an instance from the site prevents submersion but causes the subject to be replaced at next manifestation by an identical coffin. At this point, the initial instance loses its anomalous properties. These replacements appear to originate from further beneath the site. Excavation attempts to locate this point of origin have so far been met with failure. So for missing yesterday, hey, don't worry about it. Me and Vin won, we chatted, we had fun. It is a shame because like you did miss a couple good ones, but other than that, you don't have to worry about anything. You're here now, and in the end, I even said to myself like I didn't tell you at all that I was streaming SCP on Saturday, so you couldn't know. You couldn't prepare yourself, so it's all fine. It's all fine. Bodies that remain outside SCP-1760 after November 20th rapidly decay within 3 hours of the end of the manifestation. The extent of this decay varies with the subject and can range from light decomposition to the subject disintegrating into ash. At least we hear from one side. Yeah, you told me yesterday, Vin, that you were excited for me to read that one. We'll see what that's all about. Remains that appear within SCP-1760 have been successfully tracked after the end of a manifestation through the use of tracking beacons. Upon recovery, these beacons have been found buried in caskets, sealed within crypts, and increasingly within cemetery urns, all within Belarusian borders. Remains, is it Belarusian? Belarusian? Yeah, I don't know. Remains recovered in this manner lack any of the observed clothing or embalmment seen during the SCP-1760 manifestation. It is currently unknown how SCP-1760 gains access to, reconstitutes, or redresses a body prior to manifestation. So it is taken from somewhere else. Okay. Every 6 years, only one instance of SCP-1760 rises on November 15th, save for the name Piotr carved into the lid. This coffin is identical to the other instances and has been given the designation 16-16. The past contents of this instance have ranged from packed earth to animated remains. Attempts to trace the origin of these contents have been met with failure as tracking beacons cease to function following -16's complete submersion. Investigation into the identity of Piotr has revealed that the subject was a Minsk mortician and scientist involved in several Soviet projects in the 1950s. Recovered records indicate the subject passed away on November 15th, 1959. A majority of the records of research were destroyed by GRU Division P, operators prior to 1960. Anecdotal evidence suggests experimentation with long-term chemical preservation of human remains, as well as chemically induced reanimation and regeneration. The identities of any other scientists involved on the projects are also unknown, as such names were expunged from existing records. Examination of Piotr by research staff has confirmed no anomalous properties with either the remains of or burial site. Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter. I see what he did there. According to recovered Group P records, SCP-1760 was first... Wait, sorry, I didn't say it right. Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter. SCP-1760 was first discovered in 1961 following local reports of a casket garden being opened outside of Minsk. Upon initial containment, a plaque was discovered at the site with the following message. Well, now that I said, now that I did Patrick Warburton's voice, I'm going to continue that. Let us gather. Now I lost it. Hey, Peter. Hey. I used to be so good with his voice. Hey. Let us gather here today to honor the lives and memories of our dearly departed, such that they are given immortality upon this earth. I lost it. When I had to read Dream Daddy on stream, I did Patrick Warburton's voice like on to like a T. I had to like voice a character like the whole time with that voice, but I haven't done that for like a year. SCP-1760 was first contained by Foundation personnel in 1992 following the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Addendum A, -16 contents log. The contents of -16 from 1964 to 1988 was recovered from Group P logs from 1994 onwards. All -16 manifestations occurred in Foundation containment. 15th 11th 1964, -16 was filled to capacity with packed earth. Samples matched the soil qualities of a coniferous forest. -16 was filled. 15th 11th 1970. -16 was okay. It's always the same day and month, but different years. Gotcha. -16 was filled with to capacity with teeth. Tests confirmed that teeth were a mixture from humans, canine, feline, and ophidian sources. 1976, -16 was filled to capacity with blood. Tests confirmed the blood to be human of mixed blood types. 1982, 17 bird carcasses. Tests on captured specimen and identified the species as Corvus conix, hooded crow. Upon opening the casket, the specimens reanimated and attempted to fly away. Insert dental joke. I'm sure there's one somewhere. I was about to say like maybe like it's a tooth fairy collection box, like that's where like he basically puts all the teeth that he collects over the years. 1988, one headless animal carcass. Test identified the species as a Cervus elaphus red deer. Upon opening of the casket, the carcass began to move and attempt to flee the area. 1994, one complete set of human remains similar to those found in normal SCP-1760 instances. Upon opening the casket, the subject began to move and attempt to attack personnel, but was destroyed by Agent prior to incident. Something about how it wouldn't bleed so much if you just fucking flossed once in a while. Yeah, maybe. I don't know why my brain just died for like 2 seconds there. Like I read that and then I was like maybe, and then my brain was like 2000, 62 human hands of various sizes and levels of decomposition. Hey, we found Darth Vader's collection. Upon well, actually most Isley's hand collection. Upon opening the casket, the hands were reanimated and attempted to swarm researcher, but were contained prior to injury. 2006, see incident -1. 2012, see incident. Okay, well, this one is a bit longer than I expected it to be, but that is fine. It's let's see, how long is this part? Okay, let's read this real quick. On the 2006, at 14:30, researchers and reported the sound of heavy breathing coming from inside -16 prior to opening. The researchers waited for Agent and to arrive for additional security before proceeding. Upon opening the casket, an animal carcass burst out, knocking Agent to the ground. The subject then immediately exploded, releasing a large amount of bone matter that acted as shrapnel. The explosion caused casualties. Upon testing, the carcass was identified as Sus scrofa domesticus, domestic pig, whereas the bone fragments released in the explosion proved to be human. The source of the explosion has yet to be identified. What the fuck? Man, these people's parents were not very creative with names. Oh, because they're all... I got it. Let's see what this 2012 incident is. Which... Okay. Man, I even started the stream by saying we have to hurry up a little bit because I only have like until... So... past... What was I about to say? Past... 30 minutes past midnight before my best friend arrives, and then I won't be done by then. The air was still as snow fell upon the forest clearing outside of Minsk. Here and there, a few dead tufts of grass would appear above the powder, but otherwise the blanket of snow was pristine. At the center was a single black pine coffin with the white Orthodox cross adorning its lid. By the clearing edge stood 2 men and 1 woman. Each turned to the others in silence, with one, a tall man with a chin coated with a thick layer of stubble, noted for them to continue. They were Researcher Lee, Researcher Hastings, and Agent Navarro. What? Scrofa domesticus? Yeah, that's apparently what... okay, I see what you're reacting to, the sauce pod. Yeah. Dash 16 has returned. Now, the date was November 15, 2012, so Dash 16 has returned. Normally, Dash 16 was identical to other 1760 instances save for the name Berder Estebanov etched under the lid. This year, however, 12 additional names were present. Each one belonged to a prominent artist on the Foundation watch list. It was for this reason Agent Navarro, an art specialist, now found himself in Belarus. As they approached the casket, a loud scratching sound could be heard. They stopped moving and watched a single name appear etched on the lid below the others. Daniel Navarro. Oh, shit. That's really unsettling, Researcher Lee that's really unsettling. Researcher Lee commented as she eyed Navarro. Her feet refused to carry her closer. This is the first time one of the instances has been externally altered. I don't like this at all. Researcher Hastings also kept his distance. What do you think, Navarro? Keep to the plan. Navarro replied, we're safe if we don't open the box. He coolly gestured for the researchers to proceed. Without another word, the 2 researchers went to work with the same level of care one might use to clean a glass figurine. They measured, listened, and recorded. Navarro stood at the ready, hand on his pistol as he looked for calamity to strike. As the researchers worked, the casket remained silent. Eventually, all requested data has been collected. Dash 16 had failed to produce little more than a creak the entire time. The researchers and agents stepped back and looked upon the coffin quizzically. This is it? Lee's chuckle faded into a frown. Just names engraved onto a lid? It would appear so, Hastings nervously giggled. I guess we just wait for the 20th now. Navarro nodded in agreement. One by one, each made their way back to the nearby facility before heading... Jesus! I keep forgetting how much of a jump scare that sound is when I'm reading SCP. Thank you for the follow. Is it Dr. O'Shadow? Welcome to the Fluff, my man. Navarro nodded in agreement. One by one, each made their way back to the nearby facility before heading through the door. Agent Navarro gave one last look back at the coffin. Oh, what could it be? Oh, do you know him? His eyes glanced over the... Welcome, bro. White cross that adorned its lid. He felt the coffin staring back. Navarro quietly shivered and turned away, closing the door behind him. The next 4 days came and went without incident. Unfortunately, this made the site personnel more and more uneasy the closer November 20th came. The night of the 19th was by far the worst. Yeah, I know, right? It's like almost like Christmas. Like you're waiting and you're like, oh, I'm wide awake. Tomorrow is Christmas. But in this case, tomorrow is potentially doomsday, from all you guys know. Especially since there's a bunch of names from people that you are close to. The night of the 19th was by far the worst. Few in the facility could sleep. The rest were fixated on the sort of Damocles sitting in the front yard. There's a sword there. This is how Agent Navarro found himself walking towards the clearing at 11:15 p.m. The thick trees appeared to twist around him in the dark as he slowly crept through the snow. As he approached the clearing's edge, 3 security officers emerged from the trees. Their hands tightly gripped their guns as they moved to intercept the intruder. Upon seeing it was Navarro, the 2 officers frowned but waved him through with a nod. For a few moments, Navarro stood motionless at the edge of the clearing. The moonlight illuminated the snow and cast a white glow on the waiting Coffin. By its side, Navarro could make out the silhouette of a woman. He could feel his hand reach for his pistol as he approached, but relaxed as seeing that it was just Researcher Lee. Reminds me of that one story that somebody created about, I forgot what it's called, but it's like this one cave explorer story of like 2 people exploring a cave, and there's a hole and they want to like bust the hole open, like make it bigger so they can crawl through, but like clearly something's like supernaturally off, like they hear shit and things are not right, and then once the hole is big enough and they went through it, they got attacked by something, escaped, and at the end, both the climbers came back, like met at the top of a hill, and like, hey, we're going back to that hole tomorrow. Even though like one of them clearly got attacked by some demonic being. I keep hearing references to the soul of Damocles in fiction. I have never once actually read about what it is. God's Mouth Tranchito, Fault of Amiga. Man, I forgot what it's called, but it's like one of like those like early internet stories that somebody created way back in the day. But it was not like a creepypasta thing. It was like its own entity on the internet. But yeah, it reminds me of that because like how now all of the people that opened up the coffin and saw the names are now happening to be at the coffin. Well, Hastings is not there yet, but couldn't sleep. What are you doing out here? Researcher Lee, gasping, turned to the spot. I could ask you the same thing. Navarro replied with a small smile. This thing really has everyone on edge, doesn't it? I think it's Ted the Caver. Ted the Caver, is it? Yes, it's Ted the Caver. That's the one. That's the one. You can't blame them. Lee turned back to face the coffin as she whispered. She was there in 2006. She remembered how a pig carcass erupted from Dash 16 and exploded in a shower of human bones. One of her colleagues' heads had been pierced by half a femur. A piece of rib had left a deep gash in her right thigh. They remained silent for several minutes before Navarro placed a hand on her shoulder. Lee shivered. You can't help but feel this shit's going to hit the fan in the next few seconds. Even if they brought a specialist out to ensure all goes well. Lee nervously smiled. No offense. None taken, Navarro said with a shrug. To be honest, I'm not sure what they exactly thought I could do out here. Normally, I'm assigned to deal with anode threats, but this object didn't really give me the anode feel when I read its file. Well, it was on display when we found it, Lee replied. Someone wanted others to see their work? Maybe. I mean, it does have a, hey, look at this cool thing quality to it, but pig bombs? The Dash 16s didn't appear until after we started containing this site, though. Lee looked at her watch. It was now 11:30 p.m. Dash 16 will be gone in 30 minutes. Femur, I barely even know. Howard, how dare you? Somebody died! Somebody died! How dare you say that? I can't stand watch if you want to head back and try to get. Oh wait, I can stand watch if you want to head back and try to get some sleep. Navarro said with a smile. Without a word, she returned his smile with a nod. Lee then began to make her way back towards the facility. Isn't it nice to finally have some Foundation members, or like just people that work for the Foundation? Motherfucker, I forgot to change that as well. But yeah, people that work for the Foundation that are not assholes. Like just reading that feels nice. Because like usually it's not. That's not the case. Usually like them having this conversation, trying to like calm each other down and being there for each other is quite nice. It's rare. it's rare in the Foundation, but it's nice. Now we'll turn back to the casket. He waved to the several nearby security cameras before taking a seat on the grass as he waited alone. 15 minutes passed. The silence was unbreakable. Hello, Daniel. A male voice whispered from the coffin. Wait, from the coffin. Okay, wait. Hello, Daniel. A male voice whispered from the coffin. Shit! Neville jumped to his feet. A straw of ice ran up his spine as he drew his pistol. The security officers were quick to run to his side, but someone Neville held up his hand to them for them to stand down. Yeah, people moved towards lighter interpretation as time went on. Frightened, are we? The voice softly chuckled. It spoke English, but had a very thick Eastern European accent. Okay, pardon me. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't done an Eastern European accent in a while either. Also, with frightened, it's not the easiest one. Hello, Clarice. Yeah. I was trying to do like Jigsaw. You know, I'm gonna keep it with Jigsaw. Even though I could go into like the Russian accent that I usually do, but I'm not gonna do that now. Hello there, I guess. Neville's eyes narrowed as he held his gun steady. Who the hell are you? In a prior life, I was known as Peter Estebanov. I was a skilled mortician, a respected scientist, and a gentleman. If you would be so kind as to open the lid, you may see for yourself, and then I want to play a game. The voice whispered. There's no way in hell that's going to happen. Navarro replied. There was nothing anomalous about Pietro that when we poked around his grave. You got a huge hole in your story, pal. I was afraid you might say that. The voice sighed. They really changed you. Your curiosity has been replaced with certainty. What a shame. You sure know a lot about me, considering we just met. Navarro said. Because I know your breed, the voice whispered. You are an artist. They may have you dressed in a suit, hand you a gun, and ask you to apprehend your brethren, Daniel. But you are still an artist at heart. One with a heavily compromised sense of mortality, mind you, but an artist all the same. I don't understand, said Navarro. Where on earth are you going with this? My point is that you don't want to open this casket to catalog it like a scientist. You recognize the importance not only in expression, but expression in a manner that is truly unique. I've met plenty of men like you, and can guess that it's torturing you to not know what's inside this coffin. If he falls inside the coffin, I'm gonna say the line. The security officers looked at Navarro nervously. All seemed to hold their breath, waiting for Navarro's response. I've got a pretty good idea what's in your box, Navarro replied. Sorry, champ, but I'm not opening it. So sure of yourself yet again, the voice said. Are you afraid I'm just some whore waiting to be let out of my cage? Or that I just might be Peter after all? Fuck it. I'm not going to play this game with you. Navarro shook his head. What I do saves the lives of both anarchists and civilians. If that makes me a sellout, so be it. I'll be the biggest sellout ever. Without another word, he took a few steps back and looked at his watch. 11:55. What's in the box? So be it, the voice said. There was a crack like a shotgun blast. All of the nails that kept the coffin lid sealed flew out of the wood. Navarro and the security officer readied their weapons. Their eyes widened as the coffin lid creaked open. It was empty. It must truly be troubling to have sold your soul as you have, Daniel. Regardless of what you say to yourself to allow you to sleep at night, you have sold your soul. It is a shame you had such promise, the voice called from inside. Navarro didn't respond. The last few moments passed in silence. Upon the stroke of midnight, the casket began to sink into the earth, eventually vanishing into the ground. Christ. Navarro let out a heavy sigh and sat back down on the ground to gaze at the sky. The reports for this was going to be a nightmare. I was about to say, if he opens the casket and he somehow gets magically pulled into the casket and the casket shuts closed, I would have been like, game over. I would have said that. Agent Navarro stood quietly over the grave of Piotr Astapanov. He had wasted no time in obtaining clearance to re-exhume the remains. As much as he hated to admit it, the voice had been right to a certain degree about his curiosity. This seemed as good a means as any to put that feeling to rest. Eventually, the crew succeeded in reaching Pietro's casket. Upon Navarro's order, he opened it. Pietro was still present and displaying the expected decay of a man buried in 1959. Unfortunately, there was a small piece of paper held tight between his right hand. One of the crew quietly handed it over to Navarro. It contained a single note. Daniel, I knew you wouldn't be able to resist. See you soon. JTH. Now, Navarro sat down on the edge of the grave. He buried the note in his fist as he gave a nervous laugh. Well, shit. Still better than Gwyneth Paltrow's severed head, to be honest. Pardon? You can't just say that. You can't just say something that batshit crazy out of nowhere to me. Let me just extend this. There we go. Well, that was the first SCP, and that took half an hour. I hope not every SCP is half an hour long, otherwise I won't get this reading done before my friend arrives. Ooh.